Saabythesimmer. I hope you're doing well today. So I thought I would do another kind of like tutorial build with me kind of video. I was thinking about a few of the things that I do when I'm building, so I thought I would do a video on it and just kind of explain my thought process and how I kind of go about building. I have done a similar video to this before. I think I did it in like 2 or 3 parts. I can't actually remember, but I'll leave the link for it in the description, and I'll leave it up in the cards for you as well, so you can have a look. But because it was like my first video trying to do a tutorial, I feel like there's things that I probably missed, or like I feel like I just want to go about it differently now, and I think I want to focus on like one thing in particular when it comes to building in The Sims 4 for this video at least. So I think I'm going to focus mainly on the grid, so how helpful and useful it is to use the grid when building, and I thought I would like get into that with you guys today. So I have a photo I'm going to use. I'm going to put your photo up on the screen. I'm going to try and leave it up on the screen for you so you can see it, but we have a floor plan, we have like inspiration for the build. I'm going to turn to this view, so I'm going to do like the bird's eye view, and to do that on console I use the arrows, the left and the right. No, just the right one. Just the right arrow to kind of change my positions on that on the consoles. I can't remember how to do it on. Oh, it's the letter T on keyboard. But anyway, we're gonna go to walls, and we're gonna make a start essentially. So with the reference image that I have in front of me, I can see the floor plan at a bird's eye angle anyway, so it kind of makes it easier to do that. Whenever I start a build, I always start with the front of the build and work my way in and throughout the kind of space of the build, and then it just kind of helps me create the shapes. And I very much use the grid when I'm building. It helps me in terms of sizing. I get familiar with how many tiles I need for certain spaces as well. So if we look at the floor plan, if we kind of look at the front of the build, where we can see the garage, we can see the front porch, we can see, I think there's an office and 2 bedrooms. That area is how I start the build, and I use the grid for this. So if we're going to start with a garage, I feel like that is a start of like 2 tiles maybe. It could potentially be 3. I don't know, sometimes I play between 1 and 2 pieces of like the tile, but I feel like that's a decent enough space. And then it does come out as well, and I normally, if it comes out, I normally do 1 tile, but if I feel like it comes up further than this, then I'll probably do 2, but I think 1's enough. And then instead of moving around, I'm gonna go across 3, and I feel like that gives us enough space. I do have a habit of like shrinking things down, so I think it could be a little bigger than this if it is a garage at the end of the day. And then I'm gonna go up, but I'm trying to figure out how far I want to go up, and that's where it gets a bit tricky. But then it does help when I create the rest of the floor plan. That helps a lot. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of like box off the area. Obviously this is not going to be the size of the garage, no car can fit in there, but we're going to just continue creating the front part of the house. So I'm going to use the floor piece, or just the square piece, and I'm going to have a look at the porch. I think it's around that width, and it does start the same, it's in alignment with this, so I just carry it through. That's how I do my builds. If it's all in the same line, I just keep it flowing. If I think it goes back or forward 1, I'll just go back and forward one tile, and I can see the next part of this where the kind of office space is kind of back a little bit, so I'm gonna do it here, but I'm gonna just close off this area because this essentially is where the front door is. And then I think it's a small office. I think I'm gonna go 4. I think it could be 3, but I think 3 is gonna be tricky to like get any thick furniture really in there, but I do feel like it no, I'm gonna go with 3. So I pressed triangle to X out that piece of wall. I think you can hold control when you're on keyboard to remove the wall once you've placed it, and you can just draw over it basically. So it definitely goes further in than this, but as I said, I'm just trying to map out the front of the house so far, and then I'll go in and fully get into the rest of the floor plan. So that's like, that office space is a really small space, but then you can see there's a desk there, and then behind it there's like a little chair in the corner. I think it could work. This is I'm gonna be able to explain a bit better when it comes to designing it. I don't think I'm gonna decorate it that much, but just so I can show you the example of understanding the tile space and what you can fit in it. because I'm thinking there's a desk along here, and that is one tile space anyway. A desk is normally one tile space, and then the chairs will come out another one tile space. So it could be a bit of a tight squeeze. It could be half the tile, really. I don't think it'll come out that far. And then there's a little chair in this corner piece here. So I don't think it'll be too tricky to do, but I think it should be fine. I probably should close my window. We're going to move on to the next part of the bedroom. And for me, one of the things I'll say when it comes to bedrooms, if I'm using a double bed, I know that takes up at least 4 tiles. So I always try to bear that in mind of like, we need 4 tiles for the bed at least. Maybe a tile each side. So I'm going to show you guys how I kind of come up with that. And it does kind of come out, but it almost looks like it's half a tile that it comes out, but we don't have half tile spaces. So I'm just going to go with this. And there is a bump out as well, so I'm just going to do that. And I think I'm going to do it through across. It looks like it could be 2, but 2 is always a bit of a tight and awkward space, I feel. So I'm going to do it as 3. And then I'm just going to close it off like I have for the rest of it. So when I'll get a bed out and show you guys what I mean by like the tile space that I want in between it. But we're going to map out the floor plan. And then this goes behind, but it looks like it's a little further back than everything else. So I might go back twice and then go across maybe 4. I feel like a bedroom is always good if it's like 4 by maybe 5 or something. And then we're just going to close this off. And that's essentially me creating a bit of the front of the build. And then it makes it easier to follow the rest of the floor plan. So let's continue with the garage. Or maybe I should start with the entry. And that should help us build out. So the entry kind of looks like it's like this. And then there's like a built-in wardrobe. And then there's, I think, a laundry space behind it. So if I go up a few tiles here, oh, like that, then I don't even think it's like that, to be fair. Because now I'm looking at it, there's still a lot of space on the side. So I think I'm going to start the office space like that. And then you've got stairs here. So I'm just going to make a square or more of a rectangle and then copy the stairs. And I'm going to copy the way the stairs align as well in the floor plan because it just helps to make sure everything works. So I'm going to turn the stairs. No, I think I need to turn them this way and then curve it round. Because that's kind of how it looks in the reference image. It kind of looks like this. So I'm going to place it there. The entry for the office is almost like on a diagonal. It's almost like the door is opening up here. And so that, for me, I always pay attention to as well. Where is the door going to be for the builds and things like that? Even though I'm trying to figure it out. It's a bit of a tight squeeze. And then what I'm going to do is, so like, I think I'll pick the spaces I can easily map out. So I feel like there's a bathroom right next to the stairs here. But it's not the whole way of the stairs. It's probably like that. So then that means the bedroom should come up to here. And I'm just going to exit that wall out because we don't need that. And then there is like some space in between the other bedrooms. So it's almost like corridor, hallway space. Because then there's a door to this bedroom here. Then there's meant to be a door for this bedroom. So I'm going to bring up this too because I like a too wide space for a door. I hate a door being right in the corner or like just one tile. I prefer if it's in the center of 2 tiles, but that's just personal preference. So when you get more comfortable building, you have your own preferences as to how you want things to be laid out. And then we have a bathroom, but it is a bump out here as well. So I'm going to do 3 by this many. I don't think it's even this wide. I don't think it is, but I think I'm going to leave it like that. And then there's a bedroom behind it as well. So all of this space is like hallway space as well. So I always like to have 2 tiles space for a hallway. So I'm just going to exit out this wall here. Because essentially it should all flow. And then this wall as well. This will open, so it should all flow around. Bathroom, bedroom, bedroom, bathroom. And then there's another bedroom behind. So I'm going to do maybe, because I think the door is there. So I'm going to do the bedroom like that. I might do it out 1 more. this is not like a mansion, so the rooms aren't huge. They're just as they are. And then this helps because the living, dining, kitchen space is almost the same size. There is some bump out, so I'm just going to put it out, and it has to be shorter than the garage, because you can see here on the photo that the garage kind of goes up from here, from this way, and then you can see the kitchen is like further in. It's not aligned with this garage. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what I can see in the floor plan. So that kind of helps map out the garage. So it should essentially be, I mean, this is a huge garage if it's that big. That's huge. I feel like that's so big and it doesn't need to be. But it is helping creating that floor plan a bit easier. So I'm gonna cut here and open it up. And then that way it kind of makes sense. I'm gonna need to get the walls sorted so I can do that, because I'm pretty sure the office door is on a diagonal, so it's all coming together. Like, it helps when you like map out the space. But that garage looks huge compared to the reference image. Like, it looks so big for no reason. So I don't know if the rooms, I've just made the rooms too big, but that office is going to be tiny if I shrink it. So I'm going to leave it. This is kind of like the laundry, it looks like. And then you have all this hallway space. It does look longer in the reference image than it does in my own attempt of it. We're going to go back to the room tool, and then I'm going to, I think this probably comes in a bit more than this. Oops. And then there's like a bump out as well here. So I don't know if this is still too, I think it's okay. We'll do a bump out here, maybe 4 across, like that. And then that's kind of like the kitchen, dining room space, and then there's like the living space there as well. But it was all open, kind of. I might open up this bit here and keep a wall here just for some kind of separation. But for the most part, I think that's pretty much it. That's like the floor plan. I'm so tempted to pull this in and pull this out one more. I'm gonna pull that out there, pull that in there. So that's the kind of floor plan that I'm looking at on the screen. Now I'm thinking about it, if it's only one story, where are the stairs going to? I just realized it's not stairs going up, it's stairs going down. It must be a basement. I just realized that. I honestly just realized that now. So yeah, it'd be a basement space. So I'm gonna go to the walls, I'm gonna go to basement tool, and I'm gonna create a basement just underneath here. And then I can move the stairs down to the basement. I was like, hold on a second, something's not adding up. So yeah, that would be for the basement. Yeah, I prefer this way around than if I did it the other way around, but that's fine. Let me add some lights. I'm probably going to add the roofs as well, and then we shall be back. I absolutely hate the roofing, but we're just going to pretend that we can't see that. So this, I did shrink things down slightly, so I shuffled this side of the house a bit, like one tile in. Changed the little bump out that we had going on at the beginning at the front here, because honestly, it didn't make sense. When I tried to add the roofs, I realized that it doesn't actually match up with the way that the reference image kind of looked. Like, although there was a bump out, it's difficult to like, yeah, I don't think I needed it to come out as much as it did, so I've just changed it to look like this. Yeah, I really hate the roof. I really hate the roofs because it's just not turned out the way I wanted it to. But anyway, as we can see in here, let me put the grid back on and show you what I was talking about in terms of like knowing the sizes of rooms to know how to place, or where to place items, or if you even have enough space to place the item. So let's, I haven't actually used the grown together bed yet, so let's pull that out. And as you can see, like I said, it will take up, oh, it takes up more, okay, I don't know what I'm talking about. It takes up 6 tiles. I thought it took, for some reason, I thought the double bed took up 4. But yeah, that's a whole 6 tiles that's taken up there. So you've got walking space here, but it means you could really only put like maybe an accent, like a small thin accent table here. And then if you go to free placement, you can like scooch the bed further in to that slot, and then using the grid as well to just make sure it's all straight and aligned. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So that makes it go in a bit further, which is, you know, going to give us a little bit more walking space. I wish I had a sim here to test it as well, because I think it should be fine if I put a bed there and then an accent table at the end just for like decoration. This might be too chunky, just because the footprint of it is showing the one full tile and then this, so they're kind of like crossing over. So I don't know if this is even, because looking at it is enough space to walk through, but I wonder if Sims would still struggle. I wonder. I'm just gonna do that. I didn't even play around with the swatches, but yeah, let's do this. Let's do that. Your Sims should be able to walk through that space fine. They should be able to. And then this was like a bathroom for this bedroom here, and then another bedroom here, and then this entryway here, which I just realized I don't have a light in here, so I'm just gonna pull this one over here. And then the living space, and then there was a dining table like here, and then this is all like the kitchen space basically. And then this is like laundry, but also like entry into the garage, so you could have like laundry in here, or you can have like maybe a half bathroom. I think maybe laundry makes sense, and then coming out here into the garage, which is huge, which I don't think it needs to be this big. I don't know why in the Sims this came out so much bigger than it is in the reference image. Like, you can fit a car in here, but you can fit like 3 cars in here at this rate, but I don't think it needs to be that big. So I don't know what I did to make that so big, but yeah, you have a huge garage which you could use for like anything really. But this is, I don't want to look at the roofs, but let me take the grid off, and this is the floor plan that I've tried to like recreate using the picture that we have on the screen. And like I said, I used the grid to kind of help me figure out how big each room should be. Typically rooms I make, bedrooms are normally probably like this size, and then bathrooms, I make small bathrooms, so they're probably like this size or maybe this size. But get used to the kind of footprint that your items have, and then you can have a better idea as to how big a room is. I mean, here I am thinking the double bed only took up 4 squares when it took up a whole 6, so ignore me. But yeah, just understanding the footprint of items as well helps to create like a floor plan, or even just like the space for a room. I think once you know what you can fit into a space, you understand a bit more as to like how to create like a room. So I'm going to do the little office space. As you can see, it had the desk. Let me come out grown together, because I think I want the base game table, but I want the dining table, the longer one, this one, because it's a big desk. It's a double desk, it looks like in the photo. We'll put it in the corner here. It is essentially like wall to wall in the photo, so maybe the office space would be slightly smaller, but I feel like if I make it smaller, I can't fit in 2 chairs. Like, let me show you what I'm talking about. If I do that, it's a very tight squeeze, very tight. Like, I could probably still fit in the 2 desk chairs. Let's try and see what happens. But that's also a thing I do as well. I use how the items are in the floor plans, or the image that I see, and how that would add up to the tiles that it needs. As you can see, the desk is like wall to wall, and that made me think, okay, if I pull the wall in and do it this way, it kind of, you're able to get the exact, not the exact, but you're able to get a similar idea for this. I mean, can this be moved in like that as well? Yeah, okay. I don't know how useful that is, because there's that, and then there's a little chair here as well. So yeah, that, not very usable. I don't even think it'd be usable even if I put in just a little cushion thingy, a little buffet. Yeah, it's too tight of a squeeze. So I think I could do that. I don't know if it still functions. Yeah, like I said, I really wish I brought a sim here so I could show you guys if it actually worked. But that's essentially what the floor plan is like. You've got your double desk, you've got a little chair in here. That's pretty much it. That's what you could fit in your office. A bookcase could have gone on this wall, but also you could put probably like books on this wall up here. I wonder if it will be usable if you put a bookshelf bookshelf on the wall, or like even some shelves on the wall with some like books on there as just decoration. But like, yeah, if you follow a floor plan to the T, it's really difficult in The Sims, because things like this is probably the size, if not a little bit big, like it'll probably be like a half tile bigger, which we don't have in The Sims, then it might work out better. But in this case, with the room being the way it is, I could do that. I could just leave the chairs where they are as well, and that can work out fine. And that's a small little office space there. I'm trying to think of anything else I can show you guys. Oh, kitchens. Let me put the grid back on. If you look at the floor plan, the picture, the reference image that we got, it will show you like the sink placement, it will show you the stove, it will show you normally the fridge placement as well. So then I kind of use that as like, okay, if I don't know why I picked that tile, I mean that counter piece. Let's do white. So I can see from the image, it's maybe 1, 2 sink, and then 1 here, corner, which, what is in the corner? Maybe a coffee machine? There's something in the corner in the image there. And then that fridge is probably here. But what I'm going to do is put the fridge here. I'm going to put the full tile piece there, so I'm going to do that. Actually, I'll put the oven there. But then I don't like the oven right next to this, to the, what do you call it? Fridge. I like separation. Let's do that for now. And then we said sink, didn't we? So let's grab out all the things that I need. I mean the basics. We'll get a sink. Just go for a base game sink here. And I think there's some kind of coffee machine or something on the side. That can't be an oven. I wish we had corner ovens, but we do not. So, but it's just gonna have to do. We could easily put the fridge here instead of the counter, because where's the stove gonna go? So let's get rid of that counter. Let's put the fridge there. I'm gonna like free place it a bit so it's not such a big gap in between everything. Let's go to cabinets. Go to the white one. Oh gosh. And then the full tile or double tile, whatever it's called. Put that maybe at the end here. Maybe there. I don't know, it feels weird to have the oven kind of like. I'll do a full piece there. Probably put the oven there and switch that counter piece. Okay, so this is what I came up with after fiddling around with it. I changed the counter colours, but this is, yeah. And there is an island, which I totally forgot, but there is an island on there. So it looks like there's an island and then there's some seats. Like, I think I know how I'm gonna do it, because it's like it's an island, but there's also like dining space. So I think I'm gonna do this. I don't think we even have enough space to do what I was planning on doing, so I might do it the other, like, I might just do that. And piece there. I think even now, I think we still didn't even have enough space for this, but I'm gonna go with it. Just for the demonstration purposes. Get rid of this. Because it's kind of like, it's kind of the other way around though. Like you have counter space and then you have an island. But I don't think the kitchen's long enough. I think I'd have to pull this out one more. Pull this out one more as well. Which, I don't know. Yeah, I thought we would have had space for this, but clearly not. So I might just leave it as an actual island and just scooch it in. Like so. Alright. Just do end pieces. Let's do it. Yeah, like that. Let me take the grid off. Yeah, I went with the swatch as well because that brown matches the floor. I kind of like the idea of that. And I never use this swatch. I never use this brown swatch for the cabinets, to be fair. So I thought I'd do that. I think it's looking a bit strange next to these doors. I might go for like a wooden door or like a black door maybe. I don't know. I think the white just looked a bit like it stood out too much against like the browns and stuff, so maybe we'll go with a dark brown door. But yeah, that's kind of like how I would place the kitchen. Like, it's helpful to have a floor plan when it comes to kitchens, because I think like the rule is when it comes to kitchens, it's like triangle for the fridge, sink and oven is meant to be some kind of triangle. This is I don't know if it really classes as a triangle though. Like there, maybe a weird triangle, but it's a triangle nevertheless. I think that was the like rule when it comes to building. Not in The Sims, I think in real life. I saw like a little diagram about it on Pinterest and I was like, oh, I never thought of that. So I always like keep my appliances kind of separate. So I always will put a sink in the island. Also, if you didn't already know, these end pieces, you can actually put a sink in there, which is very helpful if you didn't want to use a full island piece, because these ones are slightly shorter I believe, than the like full tile island piece. I'll bring it out just to compare, because I think it is slightly shorter. Yeah, it is. See, just ever so slightly shorter, and it's just kind of a bit neat because it has like a finish on the side. Like it feels like it's ended properly, but you can put you can put sinks in the end pieces of the island, which is great. I think you can also do dishwashers. I can't remember. I think so. I feel like if a sink goes in, a dishwasher should, but we'll double check. Oh no, it doesn't. Okay. So full tile only for dishwashers, but anything else could probably go on. Yeah, see, coconut maker, cute. Yeah, floor plans are so helpful when it comes to decorating a house, especially in like a realistic way, in a layout that's realistic. Have an open plan kitchen like this, and the dining space in the center, and then the living space in this kind of like corner, and then you've got like an L-shaped sofa in the image you can see. And like having all the bedrooms and everything in a similar kind of cluster of area. This ensuite bathroom here, a bathroom here, and this kind of like laundry space, which I would probably have bathroom and laundry in there. Like I'd probably separate it and like have a toilet and a sink in like a few tiles. So if I put a wall through, I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. So I would do this. Have a door for the, what do you call this, garage that way. And then you would come in, this will be like laundry space. I'd have a door here, so then you would have sink, toilet that way. And then you'd still have like a half bath almost, like a half bathroom. At least it gives more bathroom space, because in a house with 3 rooms where 2 could be in each room, you could have parents, you could have 2 children, you could have 2 toddlers in this room. So having that many Sims, you would need as many bathroom as possible. So I always like to have in a half bath where I can. And there's basement space as well. So with this floor plan, it kind of had the stairs going down. So that having that basement space meant that you could also have like an extra bedroom. You could also have like more bathrooms and stuff. So there's a lot of room. I like this floor plan. I like this house generally in terms of what you can do with it. You can add on to it and expand it as well. This office space could be turned into anything. It could be an art room instead of an office space. It could be a gardening room. It could be anything. It's cute. But that is basically how I follow a floor plan. I will use the tiles to kind of work out where I want to place things, or how certain things would fit. So because I feel like I'm a bit more familiar with the items and like how many tiles I take up, I say that as I still thought this was 4 tiles, but anyway, let's move on. When you become familiar with the kind of tile space, you kind of bear that in mind when you're creating a room. I still really want to know if that's functional. And then yeah, I think depends on why you build. If you build for functionality, then yeah, it helps to bear in mind the items, the tiles that they take up. If you're just building for like aesthetics or for it to look cute or whatever the case may be, then do whatever you want to do. But in The Sims, it's difficult for it to be kind of realistic because it's The Sims, and like it's not as free as it would be if it was like actual architecture, like in real life, if that makes sense. But yeah, I'm gonna leave this video here. hopefully it kind of looks similar to the floor plan that we have on screen. And if it doesn't, then my bad. But yeah, if you have any questions, if you want to see me do anything else like this, then do let me know. I will try and put something together for you guys. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. I will see you in the next video real soon. Take care, guys. Bye.